Welcome, everyone, to We Are a Crotchety Old Man
And a woman!
And we didn't practice this part, it's kind of reversed. A podcast for you, a podcast with you, and sometimes even about you. So we blew that.
I was funny.
We are crotchety old
Man!
and a woman.
You should be like, I had a woman, damn it.
Welcome, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome to the kickoff of Donald Trump's inauguration.
Oh, sorry. I'm excited. We'll talk about that later.
Before we get into all of that, wanted to start out with some useless information.
Yes, love it.
But before I say that, the beginning song, Arden, who do you think that was?
That's a new song. I have not heard that.
It is a new song by my favorite singer.
Oh, is that Mary?
Yes, Mary
Chapin Carpenter. Oh, wow. Okay.
Is out with a new album called Looking for a Thread.
Nice.
And the first song that I've already fallen in love with that's been released is called A Heart That Never Closes. And the other night I texted Arden and I told him he had a heart that never closes.
Aww.
And I pretended it was a line that I made up.
I thought it was.
And but then I admitted that I got it from the song.
Nice. I'm like a valve in the heart. It just opens and closes.
Well, I have a couple things of useless information.
Oh, I'm ready for you.
Okay, guess what they did in Rome to whiten their teeth back in the day?
Wow, I didn't even think they would have thought about that. Well,
they used urine. Isn't that disgusting?
Ew. Their own or someone else's even worse?
Their own.
Ew, slave urine. Ew.
So that was a random.
That's a great useless one. That's awesome. That's disgusting, but I like it.
Well, since our inauguration festivities will go into the U.S. Capitol on Monday.
Yep.
Arden, do you know how many capitals the U.S. has had since the beginning of the Revolutionary War?
I know of 3 right off the bat. There may have been a 4th.
There were 9.
9! Oh, wow.
Beginning in Philadelphia.
Yep, Philadelphia.
And that was in 1774.
Uh-huh.
And then they actually came back to Philly a few times.
Oh, okay.
But going down through the Revolutionary War, they hit Baltimore.
Really?
Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Okay, I knew about that one.
York, Pennsylvania. Princeton, New Jersey. Annapolis, where the peace treaty was signed in 1783. Then Trenton, New Jersey.
Yeah, I knew that one.
And Manhattan, New York.
I knew about New York.
And finally, in 1800, our wonderful nation's capital.
Nice.
Literally.
Nice. That is so great that Virginia literally took their land back from it.
Really?
Yeah.
Explain that.
Washington, D.C. used to be kind of like a square, and Virginia, back in the 1800s, early 1800s, actually got their land back. So Arlington, Alexandria, and all that was originally part of D.C. Yep. So Maryland could take their land back and just make it a city in Maryland. There, you just solved all the voting issues.
I think you said that on the last show.
I did, but it brings it back. That
it's repetitive, but okay.
Yeah, hey, some people need to know this. Some people, I don't know who, but there's got to be one guy or girl, person.
Well, we got a little gift at Christmas time, and that's a game called Burning Questions.
Okay.
And I'm not going to knock it because I think you got it from your brother, or was it Secret Santa?
That was not the Secret Santa. Maybe I did get it from my brother. It was someone who gave it for the podcast.
Right. It's essentially just a question. I thought
it's a fun game. It's
a game. I don't see any objective other than to ask the question.
Right. It's just, and you know what it is? It's kind of like if you have a party, you could just ask questions and get people to talk.
It does say, do you want to know but are afraid to ask?
Yes, I am always afraid to ask.
Okay. Well, let's give it a try.
Okay, I'm ready. And by the way, I have not seen these questions, so I have no idea. So if I start giggling or say something offensive, I apologize ahead of time.
All right. Arden.
Yes.
What's your favorite smell in the world?
Definitely not my farts. But What is my favorite smell? You know what? I'm gonna go with my breakfast blend coffee. Basement coffee, the finest breakfast blend coffee you can have in a basement. Now, actually, I do love coffee smell. I love it. And that reminds me, we were supposed to have our candle tonight.
Oh, we blew it.
Shit.
Next week.
We actually have a Donald Trump candle, and it says "smells like winning," and we forgot it. Son of a. Yeah.
Okay.
But we do have a coffee candle.
All right.
All right.
The next question.
Okay.
And I guess I could answer this for you, but I'm
Nope.
not going to.
That would defeat the purpose.
What is the weirdest thing about you?
My whole existence?
There's so many.
What is not? I think that would be easier. What's the note? The weirdest thing about me is that I was about to say my poop time is usually set every morning. But that's not weird. That actually is a man thing. I actually don't know. There's so many. I do so many weird things.
Well, you mentioned poop time. There is a question about what's your favorite hobby, and that's what I was going to say. Your poop time.
Yeah, because that's my quality alone time. Of where I sit there, I have no dogs. I don't have, and I could just sit and just go on Twitter or play a video game on my phone or just read about how the New York Rangers suck.
Only you would admit all of these things.
I'm an open book. My fans need to know everything about me. All right, was that the only question? I thought you had three.
I have one more.
Oh, one more. I'm ready. Come on.
I put it back down, but what do you consider your best physical feature?
Well, I got a flat ass. I got a small ass.
Yes.
No, that would not be good physical. Goofy smile, maybe? My giant forehead? By the way, I have a head that's almost impossible to find a hat in. It truly is a bobblehead. We discussed that one week. I don't know. My soft hands.
Yes, you
there
do
we go.
have soft hands.
Because I haven't done a day's hard work in my life. There you go.
All right.
Those are good. I like those. Those are good questions.
Yeah. Well, next week I guess you'll get to ask me.
Yes, and I'm going to find some ridiculous ones.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we're pulling out the Trump orb
I got it ready.
tonight's questions, and Arden's going to go first.
Well, as we know, as I've been posting on Twitter, Donald Trump is less than half a block away in Sterling, Virginia. He's at his golf course there. There's actually some white SUVs parked outside. So, and I did send him an invite through Twitter. So I would like to know, Trump orb, will you be joining us either tonight or in the future of our podcast, since you are local and you can stay anywhere? That's a very fair answer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's
perfect.
still hope.
There's still hope. So 45-47, anytime. You're invited. Come on in.
Good to know.
The dogs want to thank you because well, I'll tell you the little story after you our questions because you have another question.
No, you do.
No, I don't have it. I have a couple, but you have one. We're alternating.
We're alternating.
Yes,
okay.
we're going to alternate our questions.
He puts me in charge, but now he's telling me we're going to alternate.
Well, it's also because I forgot my question.
Okay. So it was a travesty at the first, his first 4 years, in the way that the press treated Melania Trump. She is an amazing woman, but there was just, the media just couldn't stand her, and they just did not give her the attention that most first ladies receive. So my question to the Trump orb is, will Melania make the cover of a magazine that puts her in a good light?
No.
Oh! Wow, the liberals are that petty.
Yes, they are.
So on Vogue, they'll put like Kamala and be like the most beautiful woman in history.
Kamala.
I
I was thinking about her today because I thought of the garbage truck. What did she say? It was her. She said it, right?
Yeah,
And
she said Trump
where
voted.
at?
I forgot exactly where, but she called Trump voters garbage.
Yeah. And then he came out with that garbage truck. That was just amazingly funny.
And that garbage truck will be in the parade if it's still going down. They interview the guy who drives the the garbage
Drives the
truck.
truck.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's a VP of a company, but yeah, he's good, and he's invited again if they still have the parade. All right, so my question, um, so it's Joe Biden's final day and a half, and Trump orb, is Joe Biden a complete and total tool?
You never know, but I think so.
Yeah, thank you, Donald Trump. We will put you away. Thank you
Till
very
next week.
Next week. So we'll have to have some more questions. And so that's always a good thing to know.
So, what was the major theme in the news this week, Arden?
We have a new president who was the old president again, and many other things going on.
Well, they had the hearings up on Capitol Hill.
We did.
And I only got to listen to tidbits because I was working most of the time. They went through the hearings. But from what I did hear and what I read about, it was absolutely a disgrace for the Democrats.
Well, I'm not going to defend the Democrats, but a lot of Republicans do the same thing too, where they just spout, they just want their talking point heard. But this was really bad in a lot of these cases where they would talk about so much. Where they just look like asses. They're trying to do these gotcha questions, and the gotcha questions are the most long-winded questions ever. And where the person they're like, and I want a yes or no answer, but yet they've just taken 5 full minutes of their 7 minutes. They'll take 5 minutes explaining their one question, and then demand it's a, and then sometimes you're not even allowed to ask it. That's what I noticed a lot.
Well, I got to see the news highlights after the fact, but there's a couple senators that really stood out for me, and one of them was Adam Schiff.
Pencil neck.
I mean, what? You said somebody else was a tool. I guess Biden. This guy is a total tool.
Yeah, I wonder whatever happened to all of his evidence, overwhelming evidence, ladies and gentlemen, that he kept saying. And we never found out who that whistleblower was. I'm actually hoping somehow they can investigate him. I mean, he is a disgrace. And you want to know why he's an ultra disgrace?
Why?
What state is burning and is on fire?
California.
And where is he a senator from?
California.
And how many times did he mention the fires?
0.
Exactly. He is, you know what? I'm not going to call him pencil neck. I'm just going to call him dickhead. Because he kind of looks like...
Pam Bondi, she shoved it right back in his face.
Right. It was unbelievable.
She did a great job.
Yep. People of California, you get what you vote for.
But every time I hear his name, I think of the great Adam Schiff, who was the character in Law and Order as the first district attorney. Now, I know you didn't watch much Law and Order, but he was a great character, and now that character's been destroyed because this man really exists.
Yep, he's just awful. He's an awful human being.
And then there's a lady that my father could not stand, and apparently she's still there, and that is the senator from Hawaii.
Oh my God!
So I had to look up her name, and it's
Hirono?
Mazi Hirono.
Yeah, Hirono.
I mean, what a total loser. Her line of questioning always involved something about sex or sex.
Yes, of some sort of gender. So, like, she asked Pete Hegseth if he would continue to allow women in the military to get abortions.
Nice.
Like, okay, so even if that is your big issue, this is the Secretary of Defense. We have China at our door. We have wars going on all over the place. And that is her most important question she can get out. Hawaii, you had fires too, and this is your leader.
So which hearing was more entertaining, Hegseth or Bondi's?
Bondi's, I think, was more fun. Plus, it was 2 days. Hegseth was basically Republicans saying, "Yeah, of course we should. Of course we should be able to do this." And the one senator, and I forgot his name. He was the former MMA fighter who never wears a jacket. When he actually said, they because of course every Democrat who hates Pete Hegseth were talking about how he was possibly working drunk and all this, and this guy actually, the senator actually comes out and says, hey, how many senators do you know who voted while they were drunk after an event? So before you actually say anything about him being drinking on the job, maybe we should correct our own. It was unbelievable.
That's awesome. Who was that?
God, he's a very young guy. You'll see him. He's challenged other guys to get to fights outside. I mean, he's like
Not Fetterman.
no, not Fetterman.
This is another guy that doesn't wear a suit.
He wears a shirt and tie. But he takes off his jacket after he sits down because he's like so muscular and everything that he'll start sweating like crazy. Yeah, I do have the same problem, but I'm fat.
And in international news,
And in international news,
everything, this week was a big hoorah, and actually a joyous thing, and that's they're going to be releasing some hostages over in Israel. And the peace treaty was signed today.
not yet.
I thought it was.
It's still. I think it's been voted on, but it definitely has not been signed. The first hostages are supposed to get released tomorrow morning, but it's not really. It's actually a really bad thing. Like these people were abducted 2 years ago.
It's hard to believe it's been that long.
And it's us. It's Israel being forced to go back because Israel is amazing. They will do anything to get their people back. And they're going to be giving hundreds of prisoners back over, rapists, murderers, killers. And they're going to give them back who probably will end up fighting Hamas later on. But we're only here because Joe Biden is a tool, as we mentioned earlier. And the fact that they're being basically blackmailed. And they're not getting their people back, and it'll be great when these people do get home and they're safe, but there's a lot of things in those things, like we may not see all of these people, and the fact that Trump is now, his hands are tied for like 6 weeks because it's going to take 6 weeks for them to release all the hostages.
But I mean, typically Hezbollah or whoever's running the show on the other side, right? They won't be able to keep the peace.
No,
They'll end up attacking.
They'll do something.
Yeah, and then that'll blow the whole thing up.
Yep, because they are releasing kind of like the injured and the elderly, and then the women, and then eventually the fighting men. But they could be holding on for the next 6 weeks and just revamping and getting as much stuff from weaponry from Iran in the next 6 weeks.
They very well could.
And
these people are monsters.
They are.
And how quickly people forget about October 7th, correct?
Yeah, and how many people were marching today in D.C.? They were marching today. It was one of those things. It was for basically every cause under the sun, and people were like, "Free Palestine!" But
free Palestine.
But
what the hell is wrong with people?
Well, the amazing part was listening to when Joe Biden was bragging about this thing that he was the one who came up with peace. Whatever, I don't care, him, Trump, whatever. But when he was like, and we are going to rebuild, wait, who's going to be paying for this? Who's going to be paying for rebuilding Gaza?
Exactly.
Is Israel going to pay for Gaza? No. Is the UN? Or will it be the United States of America paying for Gaza? They don't talk about it. Freaking bastards. Wow, I'm feisty today. I'm glad I'm not hosting.
So while the hearings took up the headlines for the week, the weekend brings on the inauguration festivities. And yes, as Arden's pointing out, the village people are getting back together to do the YMCA.
Daniel cannot wait.
He can't.
That was, I think, his first album, an LP that he ever. I think it was a Christmas gift, a Hanukkah gift to him, or a birthday gift. He played it for hours.
He did not.
He loved it. That was his favorite. He wanted to be the Indian, or the biker, but he can't ride a motorcycle. Neither can I. Wow.
And then one day that dream was shattered.
It was shattered, and he went to NYU and actually met the real village people because he lived in the village.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, he lived right next to Leatherman, and I'm not kidding. Which, by the way, was on Mercer Street. Kind of scary. Leatherman. Oh boy, I kept my chaps at Leatherman. Sorry, I'm losing my mind here. Once again, I'm not hosting, and this is why. I've had too much coffee.
Well, we're just going to continue on about the inauguration festivities.
Yes. So explain tonight, because I've been posting all night of what's going on right at this very moment. In fact, I'm listening for fireworks.
Well, first of all, this afternoon, or I guess dinner time, Trump and J.D. Vance had a dinner with the cabinet picks.
Mm-hmm.
And then they actually headed out in the black SUVs and went down my street probably an hour and a half ago. And they were heading to his golf course in Sterling, Virginia.
Which is, how close is that to this house?
It's less than a quarter of a mile.
It's so close. And
It is so close.
And there's still, right now, SUVs parked at the entrance of our, what would you call it? It's
The
we're
entrance to our section.
section.
Call it that.
Okay. I didn't know what to call it because it's our housing complex.
Well, we live in a big neighborhood, but we're a subsection of it. And there's only two roads to get, actually one road to get in with two entrances. And they are blocking off the entrance off of the main road.
Right. And people did not know why. They were calling
Facebook.
they were calling it on Facebook police activity. Why is there so much police activity? Sorry. 47-1.
That's
So,
right.
Yeah, I mean, so we have two SUVs sitting right out there. Now, here's my conspiracy. So I actually took a picture of the two SUVs. I'm standing there. I took a picture. It was perfectly clear. When I looked at it, like I was going to send it to people, it was blurry.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have the technology to somehow blur my phone?
Blur your phone, or maybe there's
The
just something
picture.
on the paint.
Something. I mean, it looked like a streak. It looked like I would was moving my hand. It was perfectly, and I actually saw a person come out of the car. I'm wondering if they have the ability to like mess with our phones. I don't know. I
don't know. I mean, it could be that they're bulletproof, and that causes the image to blur.
Well, even the trees were blurred. Everything was blurred. The dude standing there with this red. I had a red dot on my head.
Well, right after this show, you're gonna have to show me a picture
I can't because I already deleted it because it was just a
Why'd
blur.
you delete it?
Because it was a blur.
You got 1 million photos on your phone,
And all of them are awesome.
and all of them are awesome.
Yes, they are. Except when I take a picture of myself.
Okay. So tomorrow, the big highlight will be his "Make America Great Again" rally that'll be at Capital One Arena.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And isn't that the arena he was at about a month before the election? And everybody on the left said it was like Hitler's.
Oh no, that was Madison
rally.
Square Garden.
Oh, Madison Square Garden.
Yes, and that was because way back in the 30s, the Nazi Party did have a huge rally in Madison Square Garden, and they had George Washington up there as a Nazi. I mean, it was very effed up. So they were trying to make comparisons.
Well, I guess he wasn't Hitler. He is now the president of the United States as of 12 o'clock on Monday.
Right, and who knows? Maybe we'll acquire Greenland. You know, I don't think we could really acquire Canada. Do we want Canada?
No.
I mean, they're very liberal up there.
I do not care about Canada.
Greenland would be nice, though.
Why not?
I mean, I would go to Greenland. You know,
You would?
yes. The fact that like only 50,000 plus people live in Greenland, I mean, it's pretty.
Then their tax base isn't going to be much.
Well, yeah, and that's why if we gave, so we talked about this last week that if and it's a big if they actually vote for independence, then they would be their own country, and then they could join us, and we can pay them. Well, we could pay just them like I don't know $2 billion total, and think about how wealthy you would be. You know, like we could do the same thing. We could sell like I wouldn't sell California, but what states would you sell to get rid of? Now you say California, but California it could be useful. I like to get rid of the people in California.
No doubt.
Seattle, Washington. I mean
Oregon.
Oregon, Washington.
They can go.
Yeah. Parts of New York City. Get rid of it. Just get rid of it. Mr. N in New York will tell us about the moths again, the flies. We haven't talked to him in a while.
Well, I've given. Well, I don't know what to say about that.
I wonder if he's a big fan of the Village People.
I don't know.
I don't know. But it is weird that the Village People are going to be playing. Like, I mean, just think, that's in my mind. Like, think about how old they are now. Mm-hmm. Like, what do they look like now? Like, is the biker guy have like white mustache, white chops?
All I know is it's a good tune.
I mean, is the one guy going to be wheeled out in a wheelchair or have a walker?
You've got to admit, it's a great song.
It is catchy. It's very odd, and the New York Yankees have been using that every home game. They use it. You know, when the grounds crew come out, they do this little, like, tiny little YMCA dance, and they play the music for them. Alfred goes to a lot of Yankee games, and he videotapes that and sends it to us because that's what Alfred does.
The Yankees really disappointed me this year, but hopefully.
Yeah.
This upcoming year, I should say, that they'll
they should be
get it
interesting.
together.
They got some fun.
Because your Rangers sure have not been together.
But since Rempe has been back, they've gotten at least 1 point in every single game. So five games, at least 5 points.
Okay.
So since Rempe's been back, and he's playing again tonight against the Blue Jackets. So,
well, I wish them luck because they're your team, but
they're my boys.
Every time I hear about them, they lose.
Because they suck, as you would say, the balls.
So, Arden, on Monday, you'll be watching the swearing in.
Okay, so this is unbelievable. I don't ever remember watching any of this. You know, like you watch it on the news. I am actually like, this is like, I don't know, a weird Christmas for me. Like, I can't wait to watch everything. I'm going to be like, I'll be sitting there going, I'll be like nodding back and forth. And we're going to have some Trump wine that night. We're having lasagna. I'm busting out a lasagna.
Yes, and we're going to have that Trump wine. I can't wait.
Yes, I bought this Trump wine in, 2018 or 16 or something like that. I was so mad at the election when he lost in 2020. I was like, this is bullshit. So now I have this wine. I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. And now we're going to have that. We got a red and a white.
Well, I'm going to miss it. And I put pressure on Arden to tape it. So hopefully he succeeds.
And this isn't a simple DVR here. I mean, it is using YouTube TV. So it's a set bookmark, but you can only go for like 24 hours. You can't do a bookmark for like days. You can bookmark entire channels, but whatever.
All right.
So, yeah, what else you got? Any?
Tonight's the big game for football for me. The Commanders are playing the Lions.
Oh, that's right.
And I actually like the Detroit Lions, but I had to root for my hometown team, so.
Hopefully with Trump in office, they will be back to the Redskins.
Yes, I think that's a possibility.
When he joins the show, I'm going to ask him, do you have any pull to name them the Redskins?
What do you think he's going to say?
I don't know. That's going to be the question for next week that I'll ask. Well, anyway.
All right. Well, I think this hosting gig, for me, is not sustainable. So I'm going to hand the microphone back to Arden next week.
We try. And by the way, feel free. We want guests. Just remember, at Crotchety Old Men on Twitter, at Crotchety Old Men on Twitter, Facebook, whatever you want to call it, X. And then we are Crotchety Old Men at gmail.com. We are Crotchety Old Men, gmail.com. We want to hear from you, talk to you, speak with you. You can yell at us. You can say I'm a goof. You can say how awesome she is. Have a great night, everyone.
Good night.